for coming to this video. I hope you enjoyed the intro. It was just a recap of a morning that I had when I was in Boston, but I am back home now, and I wanted to kick off the informational aspects of this channel by talking to you about fiber, because it's a very important aspect of the foods that we eat, and there is a daily recommended intake value associated with this component of our food, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So fiber is a carbohydrate that's found in plant foods, and it is indigestible. So it flows through our digestive system without actually getting absorbed. But there's two different types. So there's soluble fiber, which can be fermented in the colon because it dissolves in water, and there's insoluble fiber, which does not dissolve in water but contributes to the bulk of our stool and the speed in which the stool flows through our digestive system. So it can contribute to the growth of healthy bacteria in our gut. And there's a couple of things that make this really important, and that leads me to my next point of why do we care about fiber. So it's been shown to contribute to that healthy bacteria that I mentioned before, but it can help improve our digestion because, as I mentioned, it increases the speed of waste removal in our body. And it can also lower cholesterol and blood glucose because it can dilute the stool because it attracts water. And it can then reduce the risk of constipation because there's more water in our stool. And it can also reduce the risk of some chronic diseases like cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and certain types of cancer. And it can also reduce inflammation, which reduces the risk of those diseases that I mentioned before. So fiber is a really important component of our food, and it can be found in plants. And that's why dietitians are always telling you, eat your fruits and vegetables, eat your grains, because they have more nutrient value. They're nutrient dense. And fiber is one of those nutrients in these types of foods. So that leads me to my final point of this little informational session on fiber, which is what is the dietary intake recommendation and what sorts of foods are high in soluble and insoluble fiber, because plant foods is a pretty broad spectrum. So the daily recommended intake for fiber, generally speaking, is between 25 and 35 grams per day. But for men, it's higher, 38 grams, and 25 grams per day for women. And you can find fiber in, like I said, all plants, but there are a couple of foods that are higher in soluble fiber than insoluble, and those include chia seeds and oatmeal, nuts, lentils, and beans, and certain types of fruits like blueberries. And there are other types of foods that are higher in insoluble fiber. Those would include quinoa and brown rice, legumes, leafy greens, some seeds, and fruits with an edible skin like an apple. So basically, just to recap, fiber is a type of carbohydrate, and it's very important for gut health and digestion, and we need it. So if your diet right now is deficient in plant foods, mainly grains, fruits, and vegetables, I would highly suggest that you start incorporating more plants into your diet, and you will see an improvement in your digestion and all of those sorts of things. So thank you for joining me on this informational journey, and I'll see you in the next clip. Okay, so you just listened to a little chat about fiber, and I'm really excited to bring this information to you, but I didn't mention in that previous clip where all of my information is from. So you can find links to all of the things that I talked about in that clip down below. And if you have any questions, please ask me in the chat. I am a nutrition student right now, so I thrive on getting questions because it not only helps me expand my breadth of knowledge, but it also will create a conversation, and that's what these videos are for. So I just want to say thank you for listening and for being here and participating in this topic on fiber. And I'm really excited to get going on these videos because I have a lot of content coming your way, and that leads me to the thing I hate the most about these YouTube videos is please like the video and share it with your friends if you found it helpful, and I will see you in the next one.